India's heartbreaking loss in the World Test Championship final to Australia in the 2023 edition of the ultimate final of Test cricket has naturally led to a lot of introspection within Indian cricket circles. Does the team need some new talent? Should there be a change in, let's say, leadership, whether that be in coach or captaincy? Well, there's been a lot of conversations that have been happening, but now it has come into the public domain that there are let's just say, a few doubts over what they should be doing for the captaincy. Now, that doesn't mean that there's too much doubt in, let's say, a lack of faith in what Rohit Sharma has done for the team. But the BCCI is acutely aware that succession planning is going to be a thing both for the short term and the long term. Throw into the fact that a recent report has emerged wherein it was said that Rohit Sharma himself was a reluctant test captain, and you can understand why it is that the waters are a little bit muddy. So in this video, what we're going to do is talk about, let's say, what the BCCI believes on Rohit Sharma's future, whether or not they will choose to remove him or let him make that decision. Why is Rohit a reluctant captain, and what exactly is the succession planning that India would be having in mind? So without any further delays, let's just get straight into it. First off, let's talk about Rohit Sharma and his immediate future as the test captain. Now, it is worth noting that he will not be removed as test captain by the BCCI themselves. It's worth noting that they are in fact very happy with the job that he has done, and therefore they do not intend forcefully removing him from that post. So the next test series that India have coming up, which will of course be the West Indies test series, will see Rohit Sharma take to the field as the captain of the side, unless he of course chooses to step down before that. But right now there's been no mention of that just yet, so it is assumed that Rohit will in fact be the captain. The BCCI have no intention of removing him as captain, but they will in fact be monitoring his form with the bat, because his recent form with the bat, whether it be in Indian colors or in the IPL, has been far from ideal, and they know that they need to be expecting more from him as far as his batting is concerned. Now, the other thing that I was mentioning to you is that there has been, let's say, a report or a quote from an insider in the BCCI which talks about how Rohit Sharma was unfortunately what you would call a reluctant captain. Now, it harkens back to the time when Kohli had in fact quit test captaincy, and the exact quote, which I'm going to read and you will see on your screen right now, is that the two top men at the time, that is of course BCCI President Sourav Ganguly and the BCCI President and the BCCI Secretary Jay Shah, had to convince Rohit to take up the role as Test captain once KL Rahul failed to impress as a captain in South Africa. Now, that actually is pretty interesting, that if you go by that, then it really says that the BCCI did not see Rohit Sharma as a long-term option as captain even in Test cricket, and they only went to him because they realized that KL Rahul hadn't really set the stage on fire as a captain. And even at that time, despite the fact that Rahul was in fact the vice president, there were doubts over whether or not he would be a future captain, and even his form with the bat wasn't that great. But even keeping that in mind, or even keeping the fact that, let's say, the BCCI are pretty clear that they don't want to, let's say, make any hasty decisions, there are plenty of changes that can still be made at this point. And as we had mentioned, succession planning is key, because a defeat like this doesn't just happen. It is very much a wake-up call. And if you look at how it is things are right now, then there's no clear test captaincy candidate beyond Rohit Sharma. So Rohit at this point is very much just a captain by default. He's not really someone who has an authoritative hold over the side. And in fact, there is very much a chance that he could have been replaced had there been some sort of a clear-cut, sure-shot candidate. Unfortunately, there is no such candidate as of now, and therefore, well, it just makes it very hard for them to take a call on him immediately. That being said, the succession planning goes beyond just captaincy, because Virat Kohli, Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, all star Indian batsmen, are also kind of getting up there in age. And there is a concern as far as bench strength is concerned, not just for, of course, the Indian not just for the batsmen, but also the bowlers. Therefore, there are plenty of concerns in that regard, and it's imperative that beyond just talking about the Indian team, when it comes to, let's say, planning a new captain or figuring out who your new captain is, there is a need also for some bench strength to be brought about. India needs the kind of bench strength that, say, Australia does, wherein they could be without a Josh Hazlewood and also then still be just fine in the bowling department. Similarly, if you look at England in the 2022 T20 World Cup, They were missing a few key players from injuries, yet still went on to win the tournament. That's the kind of bench strength India needs to be targeting in the future in all formats, and it starts really with the test format because that's the place where India's talent reserves are threadbare. So it's not just the captaincy that is a worry, it's also India's bench strength, and the future planning needs to include that as well. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you can let us know by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, subscribing to the channel, tapping that bell icon. Don't forget to leave us a comment as well. Also follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook, and don't forget to download the AajTak app. Plus, if you're already on the channel, you can go ahead and check out some other videos that we've done. But for now, from my side, goodbye.